Guys, welcome to a special episode of Collecting Weekly. It's really just a hangout and interview with Tito the OG. If you're here, you probably already know who he is. But Tito, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be on.
Uh-oh,
Is it
that
not
was my
on?
fault. Oh no, I had my YouTube open, so I started hearing
Oh,
myself. I was like, uh-oh, my fault. Tito, for those of you listening that haven't, I guess, kind of kept up with your whole career, because you've been on YouTube for 9 years.
a long time. I started when I was a freshman in high school,
That's crazy, dude. So that was, God, what year was that?
like
9 years ago.
2015, 2014.
Oh God, it makes me feel old, dude.
I feel old too. I hear people that join my content and they're like their first game was like a game that I played in high school and I'm like, "What?"
Dude, that's how I feel about you. Yeah, because my very first video game ever was Sonic 2 on the Genesis.
That's crazy.
Because I'm
That's
30,
so cool.
I just turned 36. So, well, I guess, yeah, my sister had Sonic 1, but I was like too little. And then when Sonic 2 came out, I could actually play because Tails was in the game. So
Oh yeah, that's true.
that was like my first official game with Sonic 2. Yeah, so you started off doing like Minecraft stuff and Splatoon.
I
And,
was all over the place when I first started. At that age, I was like, I just want to do YouTube. I don't care what it is. So every time I would play a game, I would make a video. Back Five Nights at Freddy's was popular. I was making videos on that. Everything that I
yeah,
was playing.
it was cool. Yeah, I went back and looked, and you did this really cool mural of your logo in
Yeah.
Minecraft, and I was like, oh my God, how did you do that? Like,
uh, I've,
there's
I've
got to be like a mathematical formula
I
of
love
figuring that out.
drawing. I've
Uh-huh.
always loved drawing. So like, Minecraft is basically like a big canvas, and I just place the blocks block by block to make a picture, and that's something I've always loved doing. So,
Damn. Yeah, I watched it. I was like, I don't know how he's doing this because, when you're doing the crafting, you're square by square, and then you have to back out, look at
yeah.
what you did, then come back. I thought there was a trick to it. I guess not.
No, it's all just it takes hours.
Okay. Well, let's get into the first question.
All right.
What was your introduction to Sonic the Hedgehog, the whole franchise? How old were you? And was it like a instant, like this? I love this. Or
It really was.
okay,
I first got into it playing Sonic Adventure 2 Battle on the GameCube,
okay,
and my parents are they to this day they're super big into gaming, and they're the reason why I was able to play the game because they had a GameCube and they had the game and they would give it to me to play. And since the very first cutscene in Sonic Adventure 2, when Sonic jumps out of the helicopter and he,
yeah,
he says his iconic line, talk about low budget flights, no food or movies, I'm out of here.
yeah, yeah.
I was 4 years old at the time, and I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Like
Oh, way past
I
cool,
was,
dude.
yeah. And then you hit the ground on the board, City Escape, the music starts playing, and since then I've just been ride or die.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, like I said, for me, it was Sonic 2, and then Sonic 3 Knuckles,
Hmm.
Sonic 3D Blast.
Oh yeah,
Knuckles Chaotix. I don't know if you've ever played that. I feel like
I
it's kind of
played
like,
it.
okay, have you?
Yeah, yeah.
I think it's severely underrated. The soundtrack
Oh, the
alone
soundtrack is very good. I
is
have,
incredible.
yeah. That's the thing about Sonic games. I know they're very like a lot of people hate on Sonic games because it's
Yeah.
fun to do. Well, yeah, there are some bad games, but like the soundtrack is always consistently good. So
Oh,
that's
dude.
the thing I love the most is the music.
All day today, I was working on some art and I was jamming to the Sonic Mania soundtrack.
Oh, dude, Sonic Mania,
What's T Lopes?
T-Lopes. Hmm.
Insane, dude. Like just put that guy on a retainer,
Well,
please.
I don't know if you know the story about T-Lopes. Originally, he was working on a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 HD fan project, and he made the
Oh,
soundtrack for that way back in the early 2000, like mid 2000s.
okay.
And when I was little, I was playing that fan game project on my computer, and I always heard the soundtrack that he made, and I thought this music sounds so good. And then to hear 10 or so years later that he's working on an official Sonic project. I thought that was so cool.
I think Sega, specifically Sonic Team,
Hmm.
needs to really start focusing on the fans, the like
Hmm.
fan projects. I don't know if you've seen Sonic Galactic lately.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mind blowing,
A
dude.
lot of the fan projects are what keeps this franchise going through the
Dude,
drought.
yeah, the animations, the music, the like, because they're in that old Sega style,
Hmm.
but the graphics that they're able to pull off, it's just like, oh my god, it's like fully emulated on the hardware. It's not like
Yeah.
it's faking it. It's like they're using what they would have used back in the '90s. So
Hmm.
insane. I'm like, dude, hire all these people, please,
I
Sega,
know.
for the love of God. I was watching a couple of your videos, and you kind of dogged on Tails a little bit too hard.
Oh my God.
I want to know your favorite character.
That's so funny you say that because, like, in my Discord and everything too, with my community, I'm always like, I hate Tails. Every time Tails is on screen, I'm like, I hate that guy.
Tails is my
Um,
boy, dude.
I think I really just don't. I'm not a fan of him now because of how he's represented. Like back then, when Tails was first like being a main prominent character in the games,
Yeah.
he's like a child, but
Right.
his
Yeah, I think he's like
character
9 years
arc,
old.
yeah, but like his character, like in Sonic Adventure 2, he was like, okay, like I'm gonna pull my own, like pull myself up by my bootstraps and hold my own with Sonic. Like if he can do things this good, I can do it with him. But like I guess nowadays he's kind of more just acts like a baby, where if someone's gonna attack him, he's like, oh no, please Sonic, help me.
That's fair. I also feel like he's gone through the same character progression like 4 games in a row.
Yeah, well, especially in Sonic Frontiers,
Yeah.
since they're trying to correct everything, they made him go through that same arc again. Where it's like,
Oh, is that what they're doing?
yeah, they're
Okay.
trying to fix all the past problems, and there's still some issues, but they're working
Oh,
on it.
bro, that game is so poorly optimized.
Oh, on the Switch especially.
Yeah. Let's see. What was your first Sonic collectible?
That is a very good question.
I still have my very first Sonic plushie when I must have been 8 or 9.
Oh wow.
Or no, even probably younger, probably 4 or 5.
Damn. I since I was born in the year 2000, I grew up in the Toy Island era of Sonic figures. So
Yeah.
some of my earliest Sonic collectibles are these little Toy Island Sonic X bendable figures with the wires in them. It came in like a pack of 4 with like Knuckles, Amy,
Yeah.
Tails, Sonic. Yeah,
Uh,
I had that when I was little, and that's one of my earliest memories of Sonic the Hedgehog merchandise and action figures.
Dang, dude, Vendies. That's not a bad
Yeah.
way to do it.
But I mean, of
'Cause-
course, I was a kid. I'd play with them and they broke. But I have
Yeah.
some new ones.
Yeah, because I always liked action figures, but they didn't exist, so you could only get plushies of Sonic.
Yeah, the action figures that did exist at the time were very limited in articulation.
Yeah, they're pretty
Like,
much.
actually, I have one right here. This guy came out in 1999, the Resource, and
Oh, yeah, I have-
he has articulation, but
Where is he?
kind of limited.
My desk is a mess. Yeah, this is my original from Toys R Us.
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, dude. I can't find the tails. I don't know what I did with it, but I also have the Knuckles.
That is cool.
But yeah, these were my original ones when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I found them the other day in a box. I was like, yes, just in time for this interview. Now I got to ask you, because now we're on figures.
Yeah, I love
Jazzwares-
figures.
Jazzwares or Jacks?
Oh my god. Okay, I love Jazzwares to bits. I grew up with Jazzwares. I had
Yeah.
a bunch, almost an entire collection of Jazzwares, which to this day I now almost have a complete Jazzwares action figure set. But
Wow.
yeah, but Jack specific, I used to swear by Jazzwares, but now that Jack specific has made so many characters that Jazzwares was never able to make, I think that alone is able to carry it. But the
Yeah.
articulation on Jazzwares is awesome.
Yeah, I picked these 3. I don't know if you can see my desk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Mephiles, Neo Metal Sonic and Chaos, dude. I've wanted a Chaos figure
Dude,
for
yes.
so long.
Exactly.
Sonic Adventure came out on the Dreamcast in 1998, and my sister and I got to Toys R Us. Let's see, I was in '98. I was 9 years old. My dad took us to Toys R Us, and we we went out. Right, you had to get in line. They don't do it like this anymore. And it was the Dreamcast in the game, and we played Sonic Adventure, basically until the disc didn't work anymore. Like we love that game. And Jax has gone into so many characters that I stopped collecting kind of when Jazzwares first started making figures.
Oh, okay.
That was what, 2014, 2015?
They first started like in 2008, I think, or 2009.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's right. They had the license for like 8 years or 8 or 9 years. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I was in the middle of college. I wasn't thinking about figures,
Yeah.
So I kind of missed the boat on a lot of that stuff. And so when I started getting back into Jax, God, what wave was out? I forget what wave it was, but it was, your usual suspects, Sonic, Silver,
Yeah.
But then they started hitting on all these other characters that, didn't exist before. And I just fell in love with the line, dude. And I just started, every time I saw one, I would buy it because $10, dude. You can't
Yeah. You can't beat that. And it's funny you say that because I stopped collect. There was a time where I stopped collecting also. Like I had my leftover Jazzwares figures from when I was little, and I was growing up. I was a man. I was like, I don't play with toys anymore. But I still kept tucked away some of my favorite Jazzwares figures. So like I had the Super Sonic, Super Shadow, Super Silver 3-pack.
That's a cool
and
one.
and some one-off ones like that. So I completely stopped collecting during the Tomy era of Sonic figures, which I didn't miss out on anything.
No.
But when Jax got it, I started getting back into it, and I was able to get the more rare figures that go for like an absurd amount of money online, like Super Shadow, which sells for like $200 in box nowadays, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm just
the
glad,
price of some of
fortunately,
these
got
things
that.
get to is crazy.
Yeah, especially Chaos. Chaos right now goes for a lot in box.
This one?
Yeah, he does.
I guess it's the only chaos. I got a super chat from Chappis. He didn't actually say anything, but thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, chappies.
I got a lot of people in the chat. Let's shout some of these people out. We'll start off at the top. Maxie was here at 3 p.m.
Oh yeah, that's one of my goats.
Yeah, Flesh Grinder, Fandom Lover, Toy Mafia. That's one of the OGs over here. He's usually, and I swear to God, every live stream we've ever done, he's always the first one. So that's crazy that he's not the first one in here. Psyloop, what's up, dude? Also Tito, also in the chat. Shout out to
Yes, sir.
Ritz, Vegamigo. I hope I'm saying that right. Freakier Bug. While we're shouting out these people, Freaky Bob.
Freaky Bob.
What? Bro, I mean, the Werehog?
Dude.
I didn't see that coming. So what character would you like to see in 2025? We just started the year and we got the Werehog. So.
I know. I have my qualms with Jax. There are a lot of issues I have, but if I were to have a completely new character, it would be E102 Gamma from the Sonic Adventure, Adventure. Since Resaurus was the only action figure we have of him.
Bro, the other day in your Discord, somebody was selling a box of figures, and it was in there, and the girl
was a
like,
Gamma
I just
in
want
there.
like $40 for the box. I was like, what?
I know.
Don't do that.
Someone got it. Someone got the whole box for 60, I think. And I'm like, shoot, that's a W for them. There was a Gamma.
Crazy. Oh, my co-host is chatting. I learned Tails' real name is a pun. Man, miles per hour, dude. I love Tails. I think I just have an affinity for Tails because I was the little brother, you know.
Yeah. Oh, see, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I guess
so
because I didn't grow up with Sonic 2. I grew up with the more modern take of Sonic.
yeah, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, which wasn't even the original
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Yeah, you were already on a re-release, which is really funny to hear. Yeah, I put a list together of characters we could potentially see.
Oh,
And I
yeah?
want to get your take on this.
Oh, for sure. Let's hear it.
I think we needed to call.
Oh, dude, 100. That's funny you say that. Yesterday or the other day on my Instagram story, someone asked me, what was your dream like wave of action figures?" And I put Sonic, a complete remake of the Jax Shadow figure, and I put Tikal and Gamma.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
you need
call.
to call.
Especially since we got Chaos and the Master Emerald. Bro,
Yeah, exactly.
please.
Yeah.
Wave and Storm have to be coming.
Hopefully, because
We got Jet. I mean, come on.
yes, but there was something that happened with the main guy who does like the I guess he talks to the producers of song merchandise and stuff like that, and people have been asking him like, we need Wave and Storm because we have Jet, and he's like, well, they're not planned in any lines yet. So it's like, well, that kind of stinks. Who knows when we'll get those?
Damn. I think it would be really cool, and I don't know how they would pull this off per se, but I think we need a Maria.
Oh, I 100% agree, especially after Shadow Generations.
Oh yeah, dude. Her and Black Doom.
Well, and even Gerald Robotnik, I'd be cool with that.
Yeah,
I just
like,
want them
pretty
to
much
make
the only
anyone and
humans.
everyone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. I really want an Orbot, a Cubot, and a Styx.
For sure.
I don't know how you feel about Sonic Boom. I adore it.
I love the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
game-
We're not talking about the game.
Yeah, the games
The
is
show.
debatable.
Bro, Sonic is so. He's such an asshole in that show, and
Yeah.
I'm here for it because it's like that's kind of always how I've perceived Sonic.
Yeah. He's a little jerk.
Yeah, well, it's like I have more important shit to do.
Exactly.
You know, but if someone's in trouble or, you know, something's Sonic canonically hates injustice. It's not he doesn't really have like a complex of like I need to be a hero. He's just
No.
like, hey, that's wrong and I don't like it.
Exactly. And that's what they don't capture a lot of in Sonic nowadays.
Yeah, he's so like
I'm a hero. I do good because
Yeah.
it's what I should do as a hero.
right, but Sonic is not, you know, he doesn't have a home. He just runs around all the time. And so that's what I really liked about Sonic Boom is they really kind of got his attitude pretty
Yeah.
much down pat.
Yeah, even if it wasn't for anything like super deep, it's just surface
Yeah.
level comedy and
Right, which, you know, juxtaposed to movie Sonic, like Maxie
movie
just
Sonic.
brought up in the chat.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
he morally wants to do the right thing for
Mm-hmm.
people, and you know, and which is fine. I you know, not every Sonic has to be the exact same, and this is obviously a different universe because, you know, the story is so different. But
Yeah.
and I love movie Sonic a lot, but Sonic Boom Sonic's probably my favorite.
Yeah. He's
Um,
cool.
Let's see. I think we need a chip.
Dude,
I
100%.
love yours.
After, thank you. But after Werehog, they have to make a chip.
Yeah,
Like-
I would take it in even the 2.5 inch.
Yeah.
You know,
I think that would be the
'Cause-
most appropriate scale.
because that's how I do my Charmy B. I know he's not in the 4-inch line, but it's like, well,
He
he's a
needs
B.
to be in the 4-inch line. He's
Yeah.
way too small in the 2.5-inch line.
Well, he's a B. Come on.
Yeah, but next to the other characters, in games he's the same height as Cream.
Yeah,
I
you're not
analyze
wrong.
I
You're not
analyze
wrong.
this stuff way too much. So like,
Yeah.
if there's a slight inconsistency, I'm like, what the hell is that?
Another one I have is Emerald or Gemerald.
Oh yeah.
Especially after Sonic Shadow Generations.
Yeah.
I think it's important because
Right.
originally he was not in the Shadow origin story.
No, and just
They
in like
kinda-
the little animated thing.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but I was like, all right. I mean, Well, let's throw him in the figure line. These we just got, which I don't have. I really need to pick it up. The IDW Metal Virus
Oh, they
Sonic.
are the Metal Virus Sonic.
So I was thinking like Surge, Whisper, Tangle, Lanaline, Dr. Starline.
There are so many characters in the IDW comics.
I
but
love them. I think they're great.
I don't read the IDW comics myself.
Oh, okay.
But I kind of keep up with it here and there from hearing people chat about it. And
Yeah.
I'm all for having figures of these characters. Like, I just think that they shouldn't squeeze them into that separate Sega line that they have going. Like,
Yeah.
I think the Sega line should be Sega figures, not Sega and Sonic.
That's true. You're not wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good way of viewing it. I think we also need a new Super Shadow.
Oh my god, dude! I've been singing that praise for the longest time.
So when I first started picking up the figures, you know, it's like, oh, I'll get the original, you know, Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, Shadow, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I passed on Super Sonic and Silver for so long, and then, like I said, once I saw them coming out with these other figures, it's like, I want this whole line.
Yeah.
So I was lucky enough. I found Silver and Shadow at my HEB, or Silver
nice.
and Sonic, not Shadow. I have not been able to get the Shadow,
Ugh.
so it's kind of pissing me off.
Yeah, don't even bother with the current Super Shadow. Wait for a re-release. They're
Yeah.
definitely going to do it, without a doubt. It's just a matter of when and if
I'm
they fix
surprised
the
they
color.
Didn't do it last year for the Year of Shadow,
Right? That's what I was saying.
I recently picked up my ultimate grail,
And what is that?
Excalibur Sonic.
Dude, that Jazzwares peaked with the Black Knight figures.
Insane. Okay, I have totally missed the boat on those. Again, I wasn't collecting at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I had. Well, weren't those games only on
The Wii.
The Wii. I
Yes.
didn't have a Wii
Oh,
at the
okay,
time,
okay.
so I didn't even play that game until much later.
Mm.
So I didn't even know those figures existed until I got back into this line, and you know, I start googling figures, and then I
Yeah.
would see them pop up, and I was like, I need that.
Yeah,
is the
they're
coolest thing in the
awesome.
world. So I got that for my birthday. My sister paid for half of it. It was expensive.
Yeah, they go for a lot, especially
If-
like Shadow and Silver.
Oh, dude. If she hadn't paid for half of it, I wouldn't have ever bought it. But
Yeah.
what about you? What's your grail? Do you own your grail?
I
Or
do
is it-
own my Grail.
Okay. Well,
I have a few Grails. They're in the other room. I would totally grab them, but my girlfriend's hiding in there while I do this podcast.
No, you're good. man.
But the Joyride Shadow figure from Sonic Adventure 2.
The Bendy one?
Yes, complete with his base and all. And the Sonic and the Black Knight Sir Galahad figure, which is silver.
Nice.
And then
I feel like that's the hardest one
that's
to
it.
find.
Oh yeah, for sure. And if he goes up online, you're not going to find him anything lower than like $500-$600.
Yeah, that's crazy. I have the silver or the Bendy Shadow in box. I think. No, he might be open. It's on a desk somewhere. I'll have to go look.
Yeah,
but
that
that's
guy's
a good
awesome.
one. Those were even at the time very hard to find because
Yeah.
again it was the 90s, so like Toys R Us didn't carry, you know, anime figures, and it just like didn't really exist. Video game stuff was, you know, so hard to find. So yeah, I never got Sonic. I only had the Shadow. Now your collection. You said you have almost an entire Jazzwares collection,
Yes, almost there.
and then I'm assuming all the Jacks, and then you know
I have all the Jacks. Yes,
everything under the sun. So your collection was probably pretty big. Mine's
it's pretty
growing.
massive.
Yeah, I collect a lot of shit. You know, I don't know. I mean, I can't really see it. I have, you know, Final
see some-
Fantasy
yeah, I see some
figures up
Final
there,
Fantasy.
Evangelion, Robotech. There's a statue back there from Batman. Final Fantasy is kind of like the main thing I do, and then Star Wars. My Star Wars collection is, you know, I could probably fill up a museum. So my Sonic collection isn't that big, but I have every single Jax figure so far. Again, all the figures I've had since I was like a little kid. But yeah, every time you post like one of your, your videos where you just did that Christmas haul video,
Yeah.
and you kind of showed some of your shelves. I was like, damn, dude, that looks badass.
And that's because my shelves, that's not even everything I have. I'm just limited to the space I have in my apartment. So I have to fit everything on there. And whatever doesn't fit, I have them in drawers or in bins elsewhere.
Dude, I I wanted to, kind of have a display here when we did this, and my entire desk was just figures. Dragon Ball Z. I got really into Mythic Legions lately, and I was just, it was like piled this high of just.
Oh my God. It's an
figures.
unhealthy addiction for us, but
Yeah, and so I was like, I need to buy some bins. So I got on Amazon next day. Give me some bins, please. That's hilarious. So I guess because you said you stopped collecting for a bit.
yeah.
Did you like slowly start getting back into it, or was it just like, wait a minute, I'm an adult now, and then just?
I think it was like a
hit the
mix
ground?
of that because when I started high school, like I was doing the YouTube stuff, but I like more just video game stuff. I was never really collecting any action figures. And then it wasn't until I actually started working a job at Target. And then when I worked at Target, of course, I'm gonna see the toys and I'm putting the toys up and I'm like, wow, this Sonic looks cool. I don't have this one. Maybe I should just buy this one Sonic because he looks cool. And then like a month or two later, wow, Shadow. I'm gonna get the Shadow. And then it just it kept going like that. Here we are
While,
today.
while you were working at Target, so it's your fault we couldn't find anything on the shelf.
I know, dude. Low key, I would put it because at Target they have a rule where you can't buy anything unless it's been on the shelf for 15 minutes. So like
Oh, wow.
I would see whenever the things would come in, and I'd put them on the shelf, and I'd wait 15 minutes. I'd be like, all right, I'm going on my break. I'd buy it. I'm like, I need these figures.
It's hilarious. I used to work at HEB, and we had a toy section,
Yeah.
and I would always ask the dude responsible for ordering, like, dude, order more Sonic stuff because all we have are Sonics. Like, I need the other characters. Dude.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on, let's go. He never did it.
Dude, but HEB, I'm going to tell everyone right now watching, if anyone's in Texas, HEB is the best for finding old Jack Sonic waves. Like right now. Because I went to an HEB a few weeks back and they had the Vector, Ray, and Amy wave, which was like, I don't know the number. It's like wave 7 or so. And we're like on wave 20 right now. So it's like HEB gets some random stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if that's exactly what happened to me because, like I said, when I was finally like, oh, I'm buying all of them, I started going back to my HEB, and then I found Shadow, Eggman, the Super Silver,
The super, oh yeah.
Super Sonic, and it was crazy how much. The only two figures I've paid over retail for are Neo Metal Sonic and Mephiles.
Oh, okay.
And all the other ones I have found at HEB, I think, except Chaos. I got a Target.
Okay, nice.
Like I fucking went, hog wild. My HEB I guess they were just sitting in the back, I guess, and I kept buying them. So they kept restocking
Yeah, they
with the
kept
new
filling them.
stuff.
That's why
Yeah.
whenever I see something, I always grab it. Even if I have it, I always grab it because I know a friend will want it or need it and something like that, and then they can fill up the shelves with whatever I took.
Yeah, I started, or my buddy Rainer, he owns a collectible store here in town.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, whenever you see a Sonic figure, just buy it. I was like, because even if it's not worth something today, eventually, it's gonna be worth something. So, I think the other day he had the Omega, and I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
bro, that's $100 figure now.
Yeah,
I was
he's
like,
expensive
make sure you
now.
price it right because. He doesn't. I stay on top of the Sonic stuff, but I meant to tell you on Big Bad Toy Store they're doing a sale right now on the Sonics. They're like $5 each.
Oh yeah, dude. I just ordered like 6 of them.
Okay, there you go. I don't know
Yeah.
how much customizing you do, but
Dude.
it actually brings us into our next
Yeah.
question. The Sonic lines, the figure lines only have so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess in terms of customizing figures, what got you into the idea? Was it something you were like, I should probably do that, or was it something you kind of just found yourself,
I
doing?
it's funny because I never imagined myself doing any customizing or anything like that. It just kind of happened spontaneously. I've always watched people like 3D printing, but not really
Uh,
toys, but 3D printing practical things like a drawer for
yes,
your desk or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I kind of want a 3D printer. And then for Christmas, my parents got me a 3D printer one year. This was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But it was one of the filament ones that does it like layer by layer,
Yeah.
out of plastic. And then I was I didn't really know what to print. So I was like, well, I have these Sonic toys. I've always wanted soap shoes for my Sonic figures. Let me just print some soap shoes. And then I did, and I have the very first pair I ever printed and painted right here. It doesn't
Hey.
look as good as the ones I do now, but I painted that and I posted it online and people were like, "Whoa, do you sell these?" And I was like, "I don't, but I can if you want." And then I
Yeah.
just started like that, just randomly, random.
I have my Tito Sonic right here. Um, with the release of the Werehog pack,
Mhm.
we finally got official sub shoes.
Finally.
I
Yes.
just put them on my Supersonic because, bro,
Yes,
I was like, I
sir.
have the Tito ones. These are, I would say, better just in terms of paint
I
apps
appreciate it.
because you actually use white. Theirs are
Yes.
like kind of
They're
gray,
gray.
which
Yes,
I didn't
exactly.
understand. So it's like, well, I'll have my Sonic and the soap shoes. I also have the collector's edition in the soap
Mhm.
shoes. I don't know if people have ever seen these, but
I
they're
haven't I think
incredible.
you got the last batch of those. I haven't made those in a long time.
Insanely good, dude. I this figure was very lackluster for me,
Oh yeah.
and then I was like, I want to put some soap shoes on it, and now it's like I love it so much. So, shout out to you for that. And now my Supersonic can also have soap shoes because I have the other Supersonic. Hey, it's my buddy Aurelius. What's up, bud? Um, let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to give a shout out because I found you. I don't even know what I was searching for, and maybe it just recommended her to me. But Pink GameCube,
Oh yeah.
what a sweetheart. She's very
Yeah,
nice.
she's amazing.
I only have very limited interactions with her on Instagram, but yeah, and I love watching her videos. If you haven't seen her, go check her out because
Mhm.
incredible. But she was doing a custom. I want to say it was Sonic and Shadow.
Mhm.
And in her video, she was like, I got these from Tito the OG on Etsy. And I was like, damn, I want those. So I went to your store, and of course, it was wiped out.
Yeah.
And I'm not a painter. So it was like, if he's not going to paint it for me, like, I'm not going to paint it. I'm too lazy and
Mhm.
I don't have the skill or the time, to go to the store and buy all these paints and the
Yeah,
brushes and
it's a
then
lot of work.
like a magnifying glass and a paint
Yeah.
mat. And it's just not going to happen. And I think I sent you a message and you were like, oh, dude, I'm going to, in a couple weeks, I'm going to do it. So keep an eye out. So I checked your Instagram every day. And then sure enough, you were like, tomorrow at noon. So I like set an alarm on my phone like 10 minutes before. And I don't know what happened, but hey, thank you, Fandom Mother. I got a new subscriber. What's up, bud? You I kept refreshing it and then like nothing was popping up and I was like,
Mhm.
did I miss it? Like did it just sell out that fast? Because like I had no idea what kind of community you had of
Mhm.
people waiting to buy or
Yeah.
and eventually it worked and I got the 6-inch Sonic and the 4-inch Sonic and it was super badass. Thank you.
I'm glad you managed to get them because nowadays, if I were to restock those things, I it would in a second. Like people will message me and they'll be like, it was dude, the transaction was going through, but it kicked me out and I got canceled." And I'm like, "Dude, I'm sorry. Like I wish I could make more."
Yeah, the one I missed out on that I'm really upset about is the Caliburn of the
Oh,
Gauntlet.
yeah.
Yeah, that one's cool. So when you do the 3D models.
Hmm.
Actually, this question got spoiled for me because you did a Q&A like 2 days ago, and I was like, fuck, no.
Oh.
But I was just wondering, like, are they files you find, or are you making these files from scratch? Like, walk me through how you
Okay.
do
Yeah.
the...
So it's a mix of both. When I first started doing this hobby, I did not know a thing about 3D modeling. Like I could not do it for the life of me. So I would commission artists that whose work I knew was amazing,
Okay.
and they would make the models, such as the Caliburn and the Gauntlet. That was commissioned by his name is Kaio on Instagram, and he actually
Okay.
made that model for me. But then eventually, I started thinking like, maybe I can streamline the process if I can figure out the model myself and do that and print them like that. So I started trying to learn Blender, and I pretty much just use models from the games, but they're super low poly. And
You have to
if I
smooth
print
them
them
out.
out just like, yeah, exactly. If I print them out just like that, you'd see all the little triangles the models are made out of. So I have to smooth it out, and not only just smooth it out, I have to make sure there are no holes in it when I print it. And any tiny little hole in the model could ruin it. So I have to make sure everything's one solid model, and then I have to make sure uh, everything just looks right. It takes a long time. It sounds like it's not that difficult, like just smoothing out a model, but
Oh,
getting it to look just right takes a while.
I tried to start learning Blender the other day, and I was following, YouTube tutorials, and I was like,
Hmm.
I can't do this. Like, my
It's
brain just
hard.
doesn't work that way. Like,
Even to this day, I have a lot of trouble with it.
it's, yeah, not for the faint of heart. Um, what? Because you said you used to use, well, you had a PLA or a, yeah,
Oh yeah,
PLA
PLA
printer,
printer. Yes,
and now you're using the
I use a resin printer.
resin printer.
Hmm.
Is there a specific kind of printer, or have you used multiple and you find one that works better, or
Um, I mean, I've only ever used Elegoo branded resin
okay?
printers. Like I started off with an Elegoo Saturn uh 8K printer, and that
Oh wow.
was 2 years ago. It was like 350, and I mean, as of now, they're not as expensive because the
I was gonna say it's
newer ones are
crazy
out.
how cheap they are now.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the thing, is that they're so affordable that anyone can just get one in their household and start
I
making these things.
I maintain, and I've said this on my channel 1,000 times. I know a lot of you are new. I don't know if you could be in the collecting hobby and not own a 3D printer.
Yeah, right. You could print even little
It's
guns for your figures, and
it's
there's so many things.
so helpful having it. Like, oh, I want to make a diorama. I'm just gonna 3D print a bunch of, because me and my friends do like D&D and stuff.
Yeah.
Print barrels and bags, or a tavern table, or I need the sword from this game, or whatever. I
Hmm.
I think it's a invaluable tool to own if you're a collector. Everybody wants you to mention the word massive.
It's because I snuck it in there earlier.
Oh, did
It's
you?
yeah, I snuck it in there, and then the whole chat was like massive,
I
massive,
saw that, but I was
massive.
like, I might have missed something.
They're just being dumb.
Okay. Um, are there any um projects you want to work on, or maybe like something that sold really well that you want to try again, or like do another batch of, or
Well, there's, I mean, I know we talked about the Sonic and the Black Knight figures earlier, and
yeah.
they're Jazzwares, but I wish Jax made the Sonic and the Black Knight figures.
Oh dude, for
So
sure.
what I've been doing is I've been making the armor kits for the Jack specific figures, so that way we can have our own Jack specific Sonic and the Black Knight action figures. And
Nice.
that's I know you said you got an Excalibur Sonic from Jazzwares. I want to try and make my own Excalibur Sonic for Jack specific. So
Nice.
like right here on my desk, actually, I have a prototype one I've been working on of Blaze with her
I
armor
saw that, dude.
boots.
Look badass,
Thank
dude.
you. So I want to do this for all the other characters that have night costumes.
Yeah,
That's a
was that
big project.
Shadow, Silver, Sonic, her,
And
Knuckles?
Knuckles,
Knuckles.
Jet. I think
Oh
that's it.
fuck, Jet's in that game. It's been a
Yeah,
long
only in the
time.
multiplayer though, not in the story mode.
Oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. Um, let's see. Um, your Etsy store.
Hmm.
when people first were like, "Hey, you selling this?" and
Mhm.
you decide to do it, was it kind of like instant success, or like is it like every time you do something, it keeps growing and growing? And how do you deal with that? How do
Well, I mean, with the original 3D printed soap shoes, it was kind of instant now that I think about it, because one person was following me from them, and then he wanted a pair, and then he got them and posted them, and then people were like, "Where'd you get them?" He's like, "Oh, I got them from this guy." So then other people started messaging me, and then
yeah.
from there it just started rolling up to the point where I was only doing sales through like PayPal and Instagram. Like people would just send me money on PayPal, and then it got to the point where it's so hard to keep track of all the orders I had. And someone messaged me and be like, "Hey, any update?" And I'm like, "Oh shoot, dude, I'm so sorry." So then that's when I eventually decided to do Etsy, because Etsy keeps
Okay.
track of everything like that. Like if I'm missing an order, it'll show me. And I mean, I don't go over the ship by date. I don't like being late or anything. But Etsy just helps me keep track of everything a little bit easier.
There you go. Is there a project you've done that's like your favorite? Like, oh, that was fun, start to finish, or
Uh,
whatever.
that's a good question. A lot of my projects, I usually run into this hiccup where I'm like, God, I hate doing this part. But I think one that I really love is simply just my Sonic Adventure 2 Sonic, or even my Sonic Riders Sonic, because
Oh
I made
yeah,
him a special board and everything with magnets in his feet,
yeah,
and then so that way the board just sticks to his shoes, and then he has the translucent resin printed goggles.
yeah. Is that? I meant to ask you about that. I I want to say it was because I was looking at it and like I feel like the proportions were different. Like, is it based on a Jax figure or was it like it almost looked bigger?
For the Riders one,
Yeah.
I think you may be thinking of a friend of mine. His name is E Scrubby. He made a Riders
Oh,
figure with different proportions based on the game.
okay.
Whereas mine, I
Oh, I
just did
think maybe you
mine.
posted in your story,
Yeah, I
maybe.
posted on my story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Um,
I think that's where I saw it. Because I was
yeah.
like, what is this? What am I looking at?
Yeah, his proportions are wacky because that's how they look in the game.
Right.
But the one I make, I just did it as parts for the Sonic figures, so that way people could put them on the Sonic figures.
Oh, okay. There you
Because
go.
if I were to make it like super wacky proportions, I feel like if people ordered that, they'd have a hard time figuring out how to put that together.
Yeah. Speaking of proportions and Sonic,
Hmm.
Sonic 06, peak character
Dude,
designs.
that is my favorite model ever. I love how he
It's
looks.
all the characters in that game are so good. I
Hmm.
just wish that game was, a little better.
Also, I just played Project 06. I don't know
I've
if you
heard that's
played
pretty
that.
good.
Dude, it's amazing. It's night and day. Night and
Wow.
day. The controls feel amazing.
Um, Now, with the success of your custom 3D printing,
Hmm.
you recently did a collab with the Sonic Symphony.
Oh yeah.
Was did they? How did that? I'm so interested how that turned out. Like,
So
who talked to who and
it initially started because I saw they were collabing with other creators online.
okay,
And I was like, dude, that's so cool, because I went to the Sonic Symphony that was in San Antonio last year,
yeah,
and or last year. And then I was like, man, the symphony was amazing. I'd love to, work with them. So I messaged them, and then there was no word for the longest time, like months even. And then out of nowhere, they just messaged me randomly saying, "Hey, we want to collab." So I was like, "What?" I was like, "For real?"
nice.
And then initially it was just gonna be a ticket giveaway, but then I was like, "Hey, I make figures. I can make a Sonic Symphony figure for the giveaway." And they were like, "Yeah, that would be amazing." So I made a Sonic with like a conductor's coat, and he
Yeah, it
had
was
the
super cute.
yeah. So I managed to give away the ticket to a lucky winner, and then the figure as well. And then after that, I told him, I was like, "Hey, I mean, I thank you for the opportunity. If you want, I'm going to the show in Dallas. I can make figures for the folks." They were like, "That would be amazing. We can let you in backstage, and you can come watch us practice, rehearse, and such."
Oh, that's
So
amazing.
I went like a few hours before the actual showing, and I got to walk front row, front seats while they were playing all the songs in an empty auditorium, like my
That's
own personal
incredible, dude.
concert almost.
That's badass, dude.
It was
And
such a
all it cost you
surreal
was a bunch of
experience.
custom figures.
Yeah, right. And
Oh,
when the
that's
actual show started, I got a seat further up, and I was thinking the whole time, I was like, nobody knows that I got to see this firsthand by myself
it's
in
like
this
that meme.
auditorium. Yeah, like nobody
Yeah,
knows.
yeah, it's hilarious. Did they send you files for that, or did you custom
No.
do those?
I the head model that I used was the from Sonic Frontiers, but I kind of tweaked it a bit to make it look like the official artwork.
Okay,
And
yeah,
then a
nailed
follower
it.
of mine, thank you, a follower of mine, his name's Matt Crafts. He actually made the coat because I'm still kind of a noob at Blender. So I hit him up. I was like, hey man, can you make a coat? And he was like, yeah, I got you. So he made the coat, and then I just did the modeling parts where you could put the joints in and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was super cute. I'm really upset I didn't win because I was like, damn, like, because there's probably I don't know how many orders you've done, but thousands of Sonics out there. But there's only a handful of Symphony Sonics. I was like, I
Uh,
want one so
yeah.
bad.
People message me and be like, oh, could you make me a Symphony Sonic? I'm like, I'm sorry. They're like one of a kind
Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
you gotta have that integrity as a customizer to be like,
Hmm.
I said I was only gonna do this many, and that's it.
Hmm.
So kudos to you for doing that because
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
very tempting to be like, yeah, I'll do it for
Right.
$100. Now I got a bone to pick with you
Let's hear it.
because I was watching your channel the other day, and you called Movie Sonic stinky, and
Oh yeah.
this is after Sonic 3, so it's only been getting better, and you're still
It is
talking about
getting
my
better.
boy.
It's getting
So,
better.
what's the deal? Why
He's
should you
just so corny, man. He's so like
He's
the
pretty
things he
corny.
says. I get it's a different universe, a different version of Sonic, but I guess me knowing that Sonic's the cool guy, like who's kind of a jerk sometimes, and he does things by his own intuition, whereas
Yeah.
movie Sonic is I'm a hero because I'm strong. I have to be a hero. Konichi, what? I'm like, dude, this guy, I don't know
It's,
this guy.
it's a little aimed more towards kids.
Yeah, which I
took
get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I took my nephew last week, and he's got 6 or something,
Uh,
and he had a blast.
yeah. Well,
I
see,
probably had
love
more
that.
fun than he did, to be honest. But that's coming on 36 years of loving Sonic. So you know, when the movie let's talk about the first trailer.
Oh my god, the ugly Sonic
1,
design.
yeah. What? Because I know for me, I was horrified.
Yeah.
Like,
I
what did you do to my boy? What?
that's so funny. I remember the exact it's I remember exactly where I was when that trailer dropped. I was I was in college, my first year of college. I was in my computer programming class, and then I was waiting for the trailer to drop, and then it dropped, and I'm in class watching it, and I see the Sonic, and I'm like, oh my god, I was so upset. I was trying to cope so hard. I was like, maybe they just didn't show any good angles. Maybe he'll look better. But dude,
No,
it was
I feel
bad.
you. Yeah, because the Sonic movie has been in development hell for it was something like 10 years.
A
you
long
know?
time, because Sony
was-
originally was supposed to do it, I believe.
Yeah, and it was something it would pop up in like Game Informer. All the old publications that used to have like physical media.
Oh yeah, I loved Game Informers back then.
And then it was like just like turned into a myth. Like it was like wasn't there a movie Sonic and it's like I don't know. And then all of a sudden they come out with that teaser, and I was like, oh, they are finally here. And it was like he was in that like 3-point stance, but it was like a shadow, and I was like, that looks weird, like, but we'll see. And then they dropped the trailer with "Gangster's Paradise," which is a beautiful song.
Interesting
But
choice for Sonic.
The tonal dissonance was a little odd. I was like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? And oh my God, I was horrified, but I was more excited because I was like, this is going to be such a train wreck that it's going to
Yeah.
be beautiful to watch in person. And I was like unironically excited to just see it like destroy itself. And then they fixed it, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like this
He
is
looked
beautiful.
amazing, yeah.
It looked incredible."
And it's
That was,
it's all thanks to Tyson Hess.
I was
That
about to say
man.
it's Tyson Hess, dude.
Yeah.
Which bless that man, because
Mm-hmm.
he turned that franchise around. Like, I think even if that movie was as good as it turned out to be with the original Sonic, it was still it wouldn't have done
It wouldn't have hit. Like,
Yeah,
imagine if
but-
that was the design they stuck with. You see that thing on shirts, on kids' shirts.
yeah,
That'd be
dude.
so bad.
Because a lot of people. It's funny you brought that up because a lot of people think it was a publicity stunt,
Yeah.
but it's like no, there's
I don't think so.
toys.
Yeah, there were
Yeah, that stuff has to be made months
years
ahead
in
of
it.
the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like that. They really fucked up. There wasn't a. And you know what's funny? Even funnier. That was the design people weren't scared of. It's like
I wonder what they were scared of.
right, dude? Because you have to go through like panels of people to
Yeah.
test audiences.
Right? How did so many people look at that and they were like, "That's the one right there. We like
Yeah.
that guy."
Because test audiences probably aren't Sonic fans.
Yeah.
They're just moms and dads off the street.
Yeah.
Like, you want to take your kid to see this movie? Like, well, that hedgehog looks kind of creepy, and they settle on this thing, which oh god. But I'm really happy the way it's turned out. And I love Sonic 2.
Sonic 2 is good.
Did you? Okay.
I think my main gripe is the humans. Like,
See, I love them. I think they're
Ah.
fantastic. But you're not wrong. I'm not there to watch a human story,
yeah.
which was a lot of people's complaint with the Knuckles show, which I actually enjoy.
I
really
didn't even
like,
watch it. I didn't watch
Okay.
the Knuckles show.
I really like Wade as a character, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
Knuckles is not really in it a lot. But you also have to consider it costs a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a television show. But when Knuckles is on screen, it looks good. It's not like there's like a dip in quality.
Yeah.
And it's a fun story. I enjoy Wade. But yeah, it's not the Wade show, it's the Knuckles show. But
Yeah.
bro, Sonic 3. Let's talk about
Sonic 3 was the thing that, like, I feel like that clip of Danny DeVito where he's like, "Oh my god, I get it. Like, I understand now.
Yeah.
This movie is so good."
Well, especially for you, because your first game was Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Exactly. Which, of course, since that's my first game, that I have some issues with the movie, but I also have to take a step back and think, okay, they couldn't have done everything exact because they don't have all the characters in there.
Right. Yeah, like I think not having Amy was a huge
Yeah.
detriment to the story.
Yeah.
Because she's really the catalyst to make Shadow snap out of it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah. Why would Maria want me a child, want me to murder
to
everyone?
massacre everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think not having her in the movie, but how they ended up getting to where they needed to be was great. All the stuff with Maria was fantastic.
Yeah. I really like that a lot.
She wasn't sick in this movie. I don't know if they just
No,
didn't
she
touch on
wasn't.
it or she just wasn't sick at all.
You know what? Yeah. I don't think she was just sick at all.
Yeah, I didn't get that vibe. It's not like
I
they
think-
showed her in bed or anything.
I think it's just because they didn't have the arc in space, whereas like in the games, she's in space on the arc because she's sick. But I guess
right. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a little different in the movie universe, which I
Consider-
didn't have a big issue with.
Yeah. Considering they ended up on the Ark in space, I don't know why the Ark wasn't just in space. to
In
begin
space
with.
to yeah,
But it's fine. It turned out to be really good. Now, for me, growing up, the introduction of Shadow was like a huge thing. It was really the first. I don't want to say new character because Sonic Adventure had Big the Cat.
yeah.
E102. Well, he exploded at the end, but and then like Chaos. But there's always new villains.
hmm
But Shadow was like this is
Vegeta to Sonic.
yeah, exactly. And I just remember all the magazines and you flip the page to find the cool Sonic Adventure 2 poster. And it was like a big thing, light and dark.
Yeah.
The commercials for the
Yeah, I've seen a
Dreamcast.
lot of the commercials.
it was a huge deal. And then, you know, at the end of the game, Shadow, you know, falls to the planet. He's for what, I guess like a year or two. He was, for all intents and purposes, dead.
Presumably, yeah.
And it wasn't until Sonic Heroes came out that it's like, oh shit, Shadow, you know, is around. And even then, it was like, is he, or is he a clone?
Yeah.
So, I guess I don't really know when Sonic Adventure 2 Battle came out, but I'm assuming that
I believe
Shadow was like around still.
Yeah.
Like you knew he didn't die at the end of the game.
Yeah, basically.
So to see it on screen was just, and you know, luckily you're right there at, you know, in that time frame of Sonic Adventure 2 and Shadow and seeing it play out. I know, on screen. Dude.
That ending is like, especially like after he falls and they're all in the arc and they're like kind of just like on equal terms with one another, just kind of like lamenting over what just happened. And then especially Sonic walking out and he's like, sayonara. Dude, when they played that song in movie 3, I my eyes got watery. I was like, I was telling my girlfriend, because she's not a Sonic fan, but I was telling her, I was like, oh, that's the song from the last cutscene.
Yeah. It wasn't until the second time I watched the movie that I picked up on it.
Oh man, I've only seen it once. I need to see it again. I need to go.
It's much better the second time. Well, I don't know, because it's so hyped the first time you see it.
Yeah.
But I was just having this conversation with my sister because, again, she's a few years older than me, and so we both grew up with Sonic. I think I sent you on Instagram like all her Sonic statues. It was a long time ago. I don't know if you remember, but she's like me, like a mega Sonic fan, and we'll have dinner and just like put the soundtrack on to like Sonic 3 and like eat and talk together, and like it's just something we do all the time is Sonic music.
That's so cool.
And I was like, I'm really sad because there's something very different, and I don't want to like dog on like younger people because it's not your fault. You weren't born in the 90s. But there's something really different about listening to Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 on the hardware it was designed for.
Oh, dude. I can only imagine.
And you know, new Sonic music is good. And I was talking about the song Live and Learn.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you know, for me, and it's a great song. I love Live and Learn. But I wouldn't even put it in like the top 20 Sonic songs of all time. Really? Yeah, because it's like, you know, I don't want to say it sounds artificial because like the other, again, this is an old man. The old stuff is better. But dude, when it hit in the theater, dude, my God, dude, I just wish it played longer. I get it. You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. Bro, I was like, oh, yeah, I get it now. Like, this isn't, it's incredible. It hits so hard. Oh, man. But, God, I love Sonic so much. And I don't have anyone on my channel to talk about it with. In fact, I wanted to show you this because we have a show every Tuesday. And at the beginning of every show, we talk about what new this week. What new figures did you buy this week? And I pretty much without fail always have a new Sonic figure. Because, you know, they come out or I go and I find an old one and buy it. Like this week I'll have Knack the Weasel. Or Fang.
Fang. What the new kids know him as.
Yeah. But every time I get a new Sonic figure, my friends play this.
You can't keep getting away with it! He can't keep getting away with it! He won't.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's like, you know, there's a lot of Sonic merch out there. And, you know, again, my friends aren't Sonic fans, so they don't realize how deep the roster is. You know, to them it's Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. And it's like, well, who the fuck is Silver? Like,
who's that Blaze, pink Sonic right there?
Yeah, it's like a blue fish guy. You know, a robot Sonic that's not the other robot Sonic. Yeah, so it's really funny. I guess what direction would you like to see movie 4? Because it's already in development. So I don't know. Is it still too early to talk about the end credits of that movie?
I don't think so. I think if anyone, I mean, I'm assuming everyone watching this is
If
somewhat
you're
a
a
Sonic
Sonic
fan.
fan,
Yeah. So
especially
they
in your
know.
Discord, I feel like everyone's
Exactly.
seen it.
I think it's okay to talk about it.
Okay.
So I think movie 4, of course, it's setting up Sonic CD, which is an interesting thing to go from Sonic, Sonic 2, Sonic Adventure 2, and then Sonic CD. It's
Right.
like, but I mean, it's so cool that we're getting Metal Sonic, and then we got to take a peek at Amy, and it makes me wonder how they're going to do Amy's character, because in current day Sonic and the games and everything, they're kind of trying to make her not be as lovey-dovey with Sonic, whereas she used to be super annoying, like, Sonic, marry me. If I win, will you marry me? Oh my god, Sonic, I want to be around you 24/7. But in Sonic Frontiers, your character arc was, I'm gonna go off on my own and spread my love to the world. It's like, that's not Amy. So
She mentioned sticks.
she did mention sticks, which is cool.
It's
But
gonna
I
be
feel
canon.
like the movie, she's not gonna be all lovey-dovey with Sonic. But that's her character. I want that to happen.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know. Did you ever read the old Archie comics?
Yes.
They kind of shit the bed with Sonic and relationships.
Yeah, they did.
And Sega pretty much has been like, that's not happening anymore.
Yeah, no.
We're not going to allow that to happen anymore. So, yeah, even with them, they've been in their, like you said, in their games, they've been kind of toning that down a lot. But you also want Amy to be her own character, not one dimensional. But I think you're right. I think it's important. Like it's cute. It's very innocent. They're kids. And I just don't want them to do what they did with Peach.
Oh,
where she's a girl boss, and I don't really need Mario.
Yeah, I agree.
Which that character can be fun, but you have certain expectations for certain characters. And I felt like it was a detriment to Peach's character. And then I just don't want them to do that with Amy. But my theory is Sonic ran so fast. He went back in time or went to like a different dimension, and that's why Metal Sonic is there and Amy, because Sonic
cool.
CD is all about time travel.
Yeah, time travel.
Yeah, so that would be interesting. I really hope that Metal Sonic is not just a end credit thing.
I don't think I feel like he's gonna be the main enemy.
He kind of has to be, right? Eggman's gone. Or like someone said, Neo Metal Sonic.
Yeah,
has, like,
Neo Metal Sonic.
That would be crazy. That would be super hard. Yeah, I love Metal Sonic. He's probably Neo Metal Sonic is cool, but like classic Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
He like doesn't talk. He's very just creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's ominous. Like in the Sonic OVA movie.
Oh yeah,
dude, he had some insane aura.
Dude, aura. That's it.
Yeah,
his aura. In fact, it's like one of my favorite things I own.
Dude, I love that figure so much. Mine's missing his nose, sadly.
This was like one of the last things I bought at Toys R Us, because they don't exist anymore. But I just like got out of like Sonic collecting, but I saw this on the shelf and I was like, I need that because
he's one of the best looking pieces of Metal Sonic merchandise out there.
Oh, are you gonna get the new statue?
I'm not. I don't have the space or the financial stability for every single first 4 figure statue that comes out.
Yeah, because my sister has the original classic Metal Sonic.
That one's cool.
And I think at the time they were first 4 figures has gotten crazy with their pricing, but back in the day they used to be like $250. They were not that bad.
Yeah.
But that figure went up to, or that statue went up to like
he's insanely expensive. I have a friend who only collects Metal Sonic merchandise. He has almost every single piece of Metal Sonic merchandise, and that statue is the one thing he's missing.
Yeah,
but it's so
crazy.
expensive.
Well, this new one is I don't think it's as big, but it's got some presence, dude. It looks really good.
Yeah, the lights in his eyes, and
And
just the
swap out
metallic blue.
parts,
Yeah, like
which I'm pretty sure they've never done.
they've never
before.
done that on a statue before, a Sonic one at least.
Yeah, it's super badass. But yeah, I guess in terms of the fourth movie, any new characters you'd like to see? I mean, you know Amy, but anybody else?
I really don't think they'll add any new characters aside from Amy and Metal Sonic. Just because I feel like each movie's only ever introduced one new character. And movie 4 setting up to introduce 2 new characters. I mean, maybe end credit scene we'll get like Silver or something. But like during the actual runtime of the movie, I don't think we'll get any other characters than them two.
Have you heard about the Maddie color theory?
Oh yeah, about whatever color she's wearing, it's gonna be the
Yeah.
characters in the next movie.
Which has turned out to be true
So
every
far,
single time.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think adding too many characters in one movie is kind of a lot because we got Tails at the end of one,
First one, yeah.
and so in the second movie it was Tails and Knuckles because you actually get to see Tails,
Yeah.
and then you do Shadow at the end of 2, and then it's the only character, and then now we have Amy. But I'd like to see her have like a companion. I mean, especially
Like if she has like Cream or Big.
big. I was gonna
That
say
would be
big.
cool.
I think it'd be simple, because she's kind of at least from what we see in the scene. She's wearing like a cloak,
Yeah.
and she has her hammer, which I guess she always has her hammer. But it almost made me feel like it was like, that's why I said like not the same dimension. It's like she was like a vagabond, like surviving in like
yeah, right.
post-apocalyptic Metal Sonic universe. And I
yeah.
was like, well, it'd be weird if she was just like wandering
That would be
around
cool
alone.
if Sonic went to like the bad future of Sonic CD, like in a bad future area.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. And then he has to defeat Metal Sonic and Eggman to restore the present. And then he
Right.
goes back to the present time with all of his friends and family.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But I guess that about sums it up, buddy. I've had so much fun talking to you. Again, I never have
Yeah.
anyone to talk about Sonic.
Nah, dude, it was great.
What's next for Tito in 2025?
That is a good question, man. Because I'm going to say it. Now that Jax has made soap shoes, I'm tired of painting those things, man. Painting,
Yeah.
I painted well over
Dude.
100 pairs of those. Dude, it's so tiring.
I'm actually shocked that they got all the detail that they did, because
Yeah.
sometimes they could be kind of cheap. But I mean, you do all the little soul details, and it's crazy the work you do on these. I was like, damn. Photos don't do them justice. You got to get them in hand. And when I opened my Etsy package, I was like, oh my God. And they just pop right in.
Yeah.
It's crazy work, dude. You do amazing stuff.
Thank you.
But,
I appreciate it.
yeah, I guess you tease the armors. You're going to still keep doing
Yeah,
that?
the armors. I mean, now that there's a werehog figure, I can make some stuff for the werehog, some fists, and a bunch of different parts for him.
Oh, dude. I would like, if I may,
Yeah,
suggest.
totally. I love getting ideas.
Like a hand pack. Like maybe like 5 or 6 like swap out hands.
For
Or,
werehog?
like Sonic and Shadow.
Oh, I made some for Shadow.
Oh, Werehog. Does Werehog have? Can you pop his hands off easily?
You can. You just need to heat him up with water.
Oh, yeah,
like with
yeah, I
hot
see.
water. But I did make a hand set for Shadow where he has like the emerald holding hand.
I saw
have,
that one
like,
was badass with a
yeah,
gun, I think too.
Yeah, with the guns, it's like that. And since I did one for Shadow, I have to do one for Sonic now. So that's going to be coming
Yeah.
soon. I know I've been saying that, but I've been working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, just like different like style poses, you know.
Yeah, like the finger wag and iconic stuff.
Yes, Sega keeps giving us one of these. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
why? They can't even hold any of the things that they like.
yeah, they don't come with accessories. Just give me fists, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
close both of their hands.
yeah, splayed out hands or something. If you're gonna give me the same Sonic, at least change the hands. But
Yeah.
I would also like to see different facial expressions.
Well, I don't know.
enjoyed
Did you see the shadow I worked on? It was a 4-inch scale shadow, and he had swappable facial expressions, and he had the doom wings.
What? I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like sometime last month. I posted it on my Instagram. But yeah, he has swappable faces.
How do you do that?
So
Oh,
on the
it's 3D
3D,
printed.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
an
basically
idiot.
just
I thought you were
printed.
talking about a Jax figure. I was like,
Well, it was parts
sculpted
for
out
the
or
Jax figures, but
okay,
yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah, that's badass. Yeah, because we got the metal virus Sonic, and I was like, I love the facial expression on it.
Mhm.
It's like, give us more of that. I want to see more of that. But yeah, shout out to you, Tito the OG. If you're here, you probably
you.
already follow him. But if you're one of our fans and you want to, and you're listening to this later on, go check out Tito. Is it just youtube.com/Tito the OG?
Yep, I'm Tito the OG on everything.
Also, I wanted to talk about that earlier when we were talking about when you first started on YouTube.
Yeah.
You were Tito the OG from the start. You didn't have a
I
rebrand or anything.
I was the original gamer, but
Oh,
I would call
okay.
myself Tito the OG. OG standing for original gamer.
Original gamer, yeah.
I kind of just stopped doing original gamer because I don't really do gaming content anymore. So I'm just Tito
Yeah.
the OG. Yeah.
It still counts. Sonic
Yeah.
is a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Another shout out to Pink GameCube for introducing me to the world of custom Sonic figures and Tito. And shout out to everyone in the chat who joined us. Thank you so much.
I see a lot of my people. Thank you guys, everyone.
I think
for
that's
joining.
all your people.
I think so. Yeah, a lot of my folks. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.
But a lot of chats today, so thank you guys. Let's see, do we have any comments? What was this one? Tito, you still got the list from the suggestions.
Oh, I know. I have a channel on my Discord where
that's right.
the suggestions channel, and people like put a bunch of things, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can get to all these things.
I need to check out that. Yeah, that sounds cool. Oh yeah. Oh, the shoes, the rocket shoes. Oh my god,
There's so many
a lot
things.
of good ones. Oh, the Metal Sonic gun arm, that'd be cool. Yeah, there's a lot of cool suggestions in here, but all right, guys, that'll just about do it. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you sometime in the future. Take it easy, guys.
Y'all have a good one.